What makes an inspired woman? Inspired women stand their ground and speak their minds. We are the kind of women that bring about change and transformation in a massive way. Inspired women seek out ways to shine the light on others in our quest to serve and to lead. Inspired women are bold, courageous, joyful, and brilliant leaders in our families, our businesses, and in our communities. That's why we, as inspired women, can stand up and say, we live amazing lives and we love it. And we are so ready to pass that inspiration on to you so that you too can become an inspired woman leading an amazing life. Welcome to Inspired Women Amazing Lives podcast. Welcome to Inspired Women Amazing Lives podcast. And I have a wonderful guest for you today. She's going to enlighten us on social media. I'm excited about that. Her name is Miss Aubrey Renee. Welcome, Aubrey.
Thank you. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. Now, Aubrey is a brand coach and social media strategist. She's the mother of an amazing 3-year-old girl. She's passionate about empowering women to be the best self they can envision themselves to be, and the creator of Her Tribe Community, a group of women who support other women through various stages of life. Yes, Aubrey, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're sharing one of my favorite topics today because we are always curious about social media. Yes, yes, yes. Now, let's start, first of all, before we dive in, let's start by having you to share your story. What brought you to this place?
Okay, well, what brought me to social media and brand coaching? So I've always had a good eye for design. My mother is really good with design, and my father opened a business when I was very young. So the entrepreneurship and the design started coming natural as I started to see how my parents developed their brand and their business. Helped them throughout the years and ended up being the go-to girl for many different companies in the area that I was in, friendships, people wanting to start businesses. They would come to me and brainstorm.
Nice.
So it went from that to, of course, now we're not on paper anymore so much. So it went from that to social media. And what's funny is that I avoided Facebook like the plague forever. And my mom was like, please, please, please get on there. And I did, and I fell in love with the platform.
Nice.
So all the changes that they've had, I had liked to stay on top of them. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and that's what brought me to here. Now I help a lot of people through social media and try to help them develop their brands as they see fit that looks best for them.
Nice. That's very nice. I love it. You just kind of fell in your lap, and I
Yes.
love that. I love to hear stories of women who were raised in entrepreneurial families, because
Yes.
you kind of like you've got that spirit. You know what it's like.
Yeah.
So, like we've talked about, one of your focuses is social media in your business. And so tell us, how do you work with clients with social media?
Well, each client it's different for each client, to be honest. Each client comes at a different stage of their business, from starting to have been rolling for 10 years and don't know what to do with social media. Um, So I usually just jump in and see where they're at, and I just help them develop a strategy to start getting more engagement, more visibility. A lot of it has to do with visual design. We're very visual people with social media, scrolling constantly. Got to be able to grab people. So I always try to point to that. Just work on developing strategies to help boost people in their businesses.
Very nice. Mm-hmm. So you work with businesses of all stages, huh?
Yes, from it's mostly small businesses, usually mother that has been stay at home came up with an idea and wants to run with it, and I'll help them brainstorm through the process. I worked mostly with women, um, especially in the last several years because I had a child and I left work. I was in marketing and sales, and I left work and had my child, and now we're here.
Yeah, very nice. Marketing and sales background. That's very, very useful and handy for social media.
Yes, it definitely takes a certain type of person to be able to drive constantly in marketing.
Yes, it does. It
It
does.
can be tiring.
Mm-hmm. So, now as you're working with these clients on social media, um, what is the one thing? I'm a new business owner. What would you tell me? What is a few of the things, maybe not just the one thing, but what are a few of the things you would tell me as a new business owner that I need to know about my social media presence?
Well, you want to make sure that you're focusing in on your target audience. So there's easier ways to do that now with Creator Studio. If you have a business page up, you can go into Facebook's Creator Studio and see a little bit more in-depth insights to who are viewing your page, the kind of things that they're into, what times they're there. So you want to cater to those things. You want to make sure that you're creating that meaningful content to engage people, and that is the whole deal. You want to make sure that you are engaging with your target audience, because if you're just talking to, if you're selling, a dog collar and you're just talking to a bunch of cat lovers, you're never going to reach your target audience.
Right.
So you've got to just make sure that you are in the right area to be speaking. So that can be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. There's tons of platforms. So you just got to make sure you're where your customers are at.
Now, one of the things you mentioned, Aubrey, is that Creator Studio, you want to go in there and see your insights. Is that something that's simple for a new business owner to do? Or is it something a little bit more complicated since I'm new to social media?
Well, honestly, with all the things that Facebook has been doing, they have been trying to make it easier for people to manage their own businesses, their own pages, because they want you on that platform. So, Facebook Creator Studio, it's so simple. Like there's a little sidebar that shows audience, and you can just like click through all these different things, and you can even look through your group insights through there. You can schedule posts through there. Literally everything for your business can be done through there.
Wonderful. Now, I didn't even know that you could do everything through your Creator Studio in there. That's
Yes.
nice. Ooh.
It's so nice. It started to simplify the process. You having a business page. I don't know if you late last year they took the scheduling off
Mm.
of like the regular posts. It's now in Creator Studio. They're trying to simplify and move everything in that direction so that it is a little more cohesive, I believe.
Oh, nice. Nice. I didn't realize that. Hmm. Oh, very nice. I'm guessing that a part of the recipe for a brand new business owner is the first thing they really want to do is to actually be on Facebook. That is the one platform they want to be on, huh?
As far as platforms, in my opinion, I would say Facebook is where most people are. As far as businesses, there's different ways to, target your businesses, but Facebook, you always want to have a page. Everybody's going to go there. When you Google your business, it's going to pop up because it's Facebook. So you want to be there. It is a platform you definitely want to be
Awesome. Awesome. Um, and what is your thoughts about just, I will see business owners, start their business and they want to be on all the platforms, all the major platforms. What is your thoughts about that?
I think that to a degree, it can be good, but it can be also overwhelming for a small business because there's so much content that needs to be created. Now, I'm a believer of, crossing my content across different platforms, but with that, your target audience might not be on Instagram. So why would you have one? So why would you put all the time and energy into that if your audience isn't even there? If it's more business related, say coaching and things of that nature, you're going to definitely want to have a LinkedIn as well as a Facebook. And sometimes if you coach Instagram, you definitely want to have an Instagram. So, you want to be where it goes back to, you want to be where your audience is. You don't want to overwhelm yourself. I am a start small kind of person. So start small and develop that strategy out so that you know where you're headed. And when you see that there's an interest for another platform, dive into that platform, but don't do it half-hearted. Make sure that you go all in for it as well.
So go all in. What do you mean by that? Go all in. So you're saying when you choose a platform, you want to go all in, right?
Yes, you do not want to just, be there and, post once or twice a month. That's not going to give you any visibility. It's not going to promote your online presence. And so what you want to do is make sure that you're creating enough content. Make sure that you're moving in the direction that is meaningful content so that you're actually having conversations with people. If you're making posts that nobody's engaging in, then you need to switch gears. You need to see why are those posts not working? And you can dive into the insights and see, because a lot of times it can even be the time of day that your audience is online. You're posting at 5 a.m. in the morning and they're not even online till noon. So that kind of thing, Facebook takes note of that. You're not paying attention to all the details.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Now, in talking about Creator Studio, is it something that you would say that you help, that you give audits? Let's say I come to you and I've been posting for a while. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just posting. Would you give those kind of audits where you're auditing someone's Creator Studio to help them figure out what's going on in there? Because they've just been posting and posting and posting and
Absolutely, because in the insights, you'll be able to dive back as far as they've had their business page up. You'll be able to see what posts work, what posts didn't. If anything had been flagged as, like the hide the video thing, if people didn't want to see it in their news feed anymore, it'll give you all those details. So yeah, it's real easy. You can click through your content library. The insights, though, you'll look through loyalty. You can see the retention of videos. You can check earnings if you've done any paid ads. There's a lot of stuff. It's just endless information that you can pull from it.
wow, that's nice to know. Audience, I hope you're hearing that. Audit. I wrote that down. Get an audit for your insights. If you've just been posting like I have, I'm going to talk to Aubrey about that.
Yeah, I'd love to help.
Yes, just get an audit if you've never had one, to find out what you're doing and if you're doing it right, or if you need to tweak some things. That's really good. Really, really love that, Aubrey. Thank you.
One other great thing about Facebook, just because we're talking about Creator Studio, is when you're in Creator Studio and if you're on the ad side or business manager, you'll see those little gray circles that have the little eye in them for information. All you have to do is hover over that and it'll explain in a little bite of information exactly what it is, what it does, and it teaches you so quickly how to manage your own business page, which is super cool because it's your baby.
Nice. You're right. It is. It is. And it can be very impactful and profitable for your business if it's managed correctly.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, all right. We are going to take a short break, Aubrey, and we'll be right back. And definitely when we come back, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into Facebook. Okay.
Great. Looking forward to it.
Hey, Kimberly Wiggins with Inspired Women, Amazing Lives here. Have you been dying to share your voice in a much bigger way to make even greater impact at what you do? Are you holding yourself back from being more visible in your niche? No surprise here. I know many people who are doing the same thing every single year and wishing they hadn't. You must decide to take action right now. Nothing beats that. So, are you ready to share your voice in a big way? I'm offering you the opportunity to finish off 2019 like never before, so you can look back and finally see the people you have impacted and the lives you have changed. Podcasting can help you do that. It will allow you to express yourself and be heard in a much greater way so that your message can add value to the lives of others. Isn't that what you really, really want? Check out my Podcasting Made Easy program right now at inspiredwomenamazinglives.com. Let's shift things for your life and business before 2019 is over. Use the code POD for 50% off the Podcasting Made Easy. Hello, audience. We are back and we are diving in. We're taking that deep dive into Facebook. So Aubrey, what is happening? Oh my gosh, with all of the Facebook algorithm changes going on. I keep hearing that and I'm like, what am I missing here? What? So give us everything you've got on that. Tell us all about these changes.
So, with the Facebook algorithm, we've had Facebook since, I believe 2004 is when Facebook was born. So the algorithm did not even take effect until somewhere around 2009 when they took away the chronological sorting order of our posts, where we could, just see, it was like a reverse chronological and we could just scroll and things seemed very simple. So they took that was the invention of the algorithm in 2009, and they started scrambling things, started getting things a little confusing for all of us. So that was their sorting order. So they moved from that, and we've progressed 10 years. So at the end of last year, Mark Zuckerberg came out with his statement about how he wants to maintain Facebook as a community-based website, a community-based social platform. So with that, he wants to, with the algorithm, he decreased what a lot of us may have seen with our organic reach because of how things are sorted now. So with how things are sorted now, the algorithm takes into account your whole news feed. So they take an inventory now of each person. Say we're going to use Kimberly's Facebook, for instance. We're going to take Kimberly's, all her friends, all the pages she likes, everything she follows, and we're going to sort it by what she's most like to have a positive interaction with. So that seems a little confusing to me because I'm not super techie, but but the math and the algorithm that they created sorts everything so that it's going to say, I think that this is the best post to show Kimberly. Whether it is or not, I guess they're still testing. But so they take the inventory, and the signals are the only thing we really have control over. And by signals, I mean like the types of content. And if we're, talking to our target audience, if we're engaging with that target audience. So they're making that prediction saying that Kimberly's article is a good article for her audience. So they're going to predict that, say, I would like that piece of content. So they're going to put it in my news feed. Whereas they may not have put it in the next person because Kimberly hasn't had a recent interaction through her Facebook page with that person. So that Messenger is tied into this, everything. Like it is one big cohesive lump of engagement. They want you talking to everyone. They like if you send messages from your Facebook page, it'll help keep your visibility. It's all about the score now. So your relevance score is going to be based off of those four things. It's inventory, your signals, their predictions, and the score. So all those together will generate how your news feed is displayed to each individual. So nobody's news feed is the same. So how we target that is with our passive and active signals. Passive signals, they are things like when Kimberly has a post and somebody views it for a long time. They read it for a long time. The longer on the platform, the better. The active signals are what's going to continue to boost your engagement and your visibility on Facebook. And that active signals are comments, replies, reactions, shares, and that's the key now. It's always kind of been the key to stay engaged with people, but they're driving their algorithm to force us to do that now. So we either are going to stay engaged with our audience or we're not going to have an audience. And to me, I think it's kind of fair because if you want to build an empire of any size, you've got to be engaged with your people.
I agree. Thank you for that explanation. You broke that down in a way that really made sense to me. And so I'm not geeky, but the most important thing that I got out of all of that was that, two things. One, Facebook is really vested in this platform being community driven.
Yes, very much so.
And the second thing that I got out of that, Aubrey, was that, and the only way to keep it community driven is to take your bank of content, and you either create new content or you take the bank of content that you already have and repurpose it in a way that keeps you front and center, top of mind every day on Facebook as your platform.
Yes, you want to be posting 1 to 2 times a day because that's going to be what on your business page or your public figure page. You want to be posting because that's going to show the algorithm that you are engaged on the platform, that you are trying to reach. So that's going to help as well. But with the community also comes things like groups and jumping into group chats, even in Messenger. The more you run from your page, specifically, not just your personal, but specifically your page in Messenger, in groups, and everything, it's going to keep boosting you. Just keep boosting you.
Awesome. Nice. That is nice to know. So it's encompassing everything, your groups, your messenger, your page. Very,
Yeah.
very good. Oh wow. I love it. I love it. All right. Now I don't feel so bad about this new algorithm anymore.
Yeah, it's not scary. It's just you got to learn to work with it. Because you got to
Right.
play ball. There's no hack to it. You just got to play ball.
And Aubrey, why it's now that you're saying this, here's why I am embracing it. I am feeling better about embracing it is because, one of the things that I focus on is women being visibility. And
Hmm.
so I feel like me and Facebook are finally aligned on that, really,
Yeah,
because I really want women to be more visible. And I'm sure, and I love video. So I'm sure that video plays a huge role in that, right?
absolutely. And Creator Studio gives you a few really great tips on how to do video. You need to make sure that your videos are high quality. The video is high quality and that it's no less than 3 minutes. Anything less than 3 minutes, you're going to get a down rate from the algorithm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's little things, but it tells you that in Creator Studio. I mean, it's so helpful to teach along the way, and I love it. I love everything about it.
All right, from now on, starting the day, I wasn't using Creator Studio. Oh my gosh. Fa- Social media is not one of the things that I love, but I love visibility. So, and I love video. So I mean, it only makes sense that I have to learn to embrace. I have to learn to love Creative Studio. And if it's that helpful, then it should be, because I also love simple.
Mhm.
And when I've been in that business manager thing before, oh my gosh, it was like pulling my hair out.
Business manager can be intimidating.
Oh, it's awful. But Creative Studio sounds like a place where I can hang out and learn more and become more familiar with it and embrace it more.
They
So
even have great videos too, little short videos to
nice.
teach you the right ways to do it. And so they're actually helping you if you just go through the process and listen. One other little thing about Creator Studio that I forgot to mention in this last bit is that you also can schedule your Instagram content through there.
Oh, wow.
So all your Instagram content can be scheduled through there. All your Facebook content can be scheduled through there.
Now, let me ask you this question. Um, I spoke to someone about this, and I've spoke to a couple people about this. And so their thought was, and I don't really think, I'm an empowerment coach. I really don't think that my audience is on Instagram,
Hmm.
especially because I work with women. Um, and really my age range is about 40, somewhere between 35 to 55, 60. Um, and so I really don't think my audience hangs out primarily on Instagram at all. But someone told me, but why not post it there since they are already connected with Facebook? Why not post it there? What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that, you being someone that works with empowerment and works with women, I would personally think that you would want to have a presence on Instagram. And because you love video, they have IGTV that you can also, run a series of your podcasts, all your old podcasts, your new podcasts, you can run a series through there just by uploading your videos, any little like the lives that you do from Facebook, you
Mhm.
can also download those, and those can be created into IGTV series. um, IGTV series is a great little tool for people beginning, for people who are seasoned. It is a great little tool to get stuck watching those videos, and with the right hashtags on Instagram, you nail it. You get seen.
Oh, so hashtags are important on Instagram, huh?
Very, very important on Instagram, not so much on Facebook. We
Right.
tried, we failed.
Okay, awesome. That's a great thing. I'm putting these in the show notes.
Oh, cool.
so my audience can have really good tips right out the gate. So, okay, so we talked about, thank you for that. You gave us audience. She gave us so much good information on Facebook. Oh my gosh. Now, the question I just asked kind of segued into this question. When we've determined that Facebook is where everybody should at least start. What would be like, how would people determine what would be a secondary platform after they've mastered Facebook, right? You've mastered Facebook, you've got this really good content schedule. I say that with emphasis because a lot of people, and I did this in the very beginning, I would just post willy-nilly. I haven't been posting recently because I've gotten a new community manager recently, Aubrey, for my Facebook group. She started and she's been creating content in the background. And so she'll be really visible next week in my Facebook group. And then also she has created some content for my Facebook page. And so we've got the schedule. It'll be very, very consistent. So what would be another platform? How would people determine what their secondary platform could be?
Well, easy ways to determine that. Say your Facebook group is set up, and this is something I would suggest for you, especially because you already have a group rolling. Ask the group. Take a survey from the group. Do they think that Instagram would be a good platform for you to add to your display of internet presence, or would it be LinkedIn? Or, should you have a YouTube? Those kind of things. Those things are good questions to ask the audience that you currently have. They are going to be the ones most likely to reach out and share your content. They're going to be the ones that stick with you. The ones that you start with are usually the ones that stick with you through the long process and get to see the whole thing displayed.
Nice.
So I would definitely just take a moment and if you can survey. If you can't, research your target audience. You can look at all kinds of benchmarks on Google for different genres, different businesses, literally everything, anything you could think of. You can find through Google and find some information on where other businesses are posting that are like yours. Where are their reach? What is their reach, rather?
Nice.
Those things. So yeah, there's lots of ways you can dive in and do some research for it.
Nice. Good. Now, if you would, just so my audience will have a reference, what is it? Can you give us an example of a specific way? Let's say, I want to create a content calendar or schedule, and here's an example of what it looks like for me posting for a week of content.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like for you to give us an example of what that would look like for a week of content.
Okay, so with content, you always want to make sure, and a lot of different posts you can read about the 80-20 rule. You never want to be selling 100% of the time.
Right.
So you want to spend 80% of your time posting content that's relevant to your niche, but not selling. The rest, that 20%, you can boost yourself and promote yourself, but you want to be pushing things that, empowerment articles, for instance, blogs that you've written, ideas that you've had, a great picture, those things. But you want to make sure that you're posting a couple of times a day. That certainly helps. Asking meaningful questions that get your audience engaged. So you want to make sure that you're diving into that target audience. You've got to reach that, and the best way to reach that is by tuning into your insights on Facebook, seeing when they're on Facebook, what age group, so you know what style to be posting. Because some, like my mother is in her 60s. Her style is different from my style. I'm in my 30s. So that visually we like different things. So that what you got to make sure you're catching that person on something. Like for me, something's got to pop or I'm going to keep scrolling. So, but for my mom, it could be very different.
Right.
So that's it. You've got to make sure that you're honing in your skills on that audience. That way you can make sure that you're providing the right content and just stick to the 80-20 rule. It works every time.
Very nice. I like it. Ooh. Now, um, let's talk about Facebook ads.
Okay.
I know you love Facebook ads. So, okay. So what is your take on this organic following versus using Facebook ads? When should you focus on organic following and when should you use Facebook ads? Give me everything you got on Facebook ads.
Okay, so my take on organic and ads, I you've got to adhere to that 80-20 rule on your organic always. And with that, for me, in my personal belief on how the Facebook ads work best is brand awareness. Is there in through Facebook ads, they have simplified the process so you can go, okay, what ad do I want? And you can say, I want more engagement, or I want more, I want brand awareness, or I need to promote this product. And so they'll take you through a process that will slowly build your ad. You make sure that your creative content is catchy. It's always got to be good and catchy. And they'll even help you with they'll tell you if it's too wordy or there's, too much going on. They because their standards are pretty high. But
Wow.
the cool thing that they have done now is that you can control your placement of your ad. So you can control where the ad is going to be seen on Facebook or Instagram. And that's where the power in that lies, because it can be during a video. It can be, a banner. It could be just in the news feed or one of the little sponsorship things on the side. There's tons of places that you can advertise, but what works best for your audience? So that's and in ads, you can create your custom audience. So you can take your info from your insights and create an audience that is exactly the audience that already views your page. Nobody else has that audience. It's your custom audience. Name it what you want and then run with it. And then you can also run A/B testing and see if you can do 2 different ads and see which ad is working better. If one's working better, run with that ad. Keep going with it. But as far as everything and combining it, I believe 100% the brand awareness in Facebook ads is the best way to go.
Brand awareness.
Yes, and when you go through the ads, it's like one of the first ones. I think actually is the first one that you can click is the brand awareness, and it seems to create the engagement every time that I have wanted to see. So I appreciate it because you can fine tune it to everything you want, and if it's not working, then tweak it. Make it work for you.
Awesome. And what are some of the things that you suggest for a Facebook ad, or does it just depend on the business? I mean, what are some of the things that you've seen work well? Is it starting with the lead magnet, or maybe selling a small product, or just having people to weigh in on something? I mean, or a poll or a quiz, or what is it in your opinion, do you see that's worked best for Facebook ads?
To me, I think what's worked best is, I'm not exactly sure when it came out, at least a year and a half ago, the carousels, because you can upload a video, a picture. There's a handful, I think there's like 3 to 5 things you can add in there. And so with that, there's a video that's going to automatically start playing. Well, when the video's done, you can see that there's that little bit of something sticking out on the other side. So you swipe to see that, and then you swipe to see that, and hopefully you click on it. And so that it's just driving you in, and that's what Facebook wants. That's what the algorithm wants. They want to see somebody engaged in it. So the longer you can keep them on that ad, the better. That's money well spent.
Very nice. I don't do a lot of Facebook ads. Well, I don't. It's been a long. In my current business, I have not done any, but I don't even click on a lot of Facebook ads either.
Yeah.
Point. I really don't. I don't click on a lot of Facebook ads, so I have to look out for that. The carousel.
Yes, and they're deceiving. They look just like another thing in your news feed, and sometimes you can easily scroll past them if they don't grab your attention. So sometimes it can be like a good makeup video, and then you swipe it. Oh, they're selling a product, and so
Right.
so those kind of things. So yeah, it's a good platform to try all different types of advertising.
And it's funny because when you talk about the algorithm, so there's a couple Facebook ads that I remember seeing recently in my feed. They're not ones necessarily. So I bought something from an email template girl, and so I keep seeing email template ads in my feed. And then because I talk so much about visibility, now I am seeing more content planning stuff in my feed, I think.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
funny. Yeah.
Not the right keywords. They know it's the keywords in this whole deal of advertising, and just even with Google, the keywords are everything. And so when you plug in those special keywords, you talking about visibility, so they're going to cater to, okay, well, this is how you become visible. And so things like that. I am pretty big on the clicking the why am I seeing this that little question mark that's by the ad.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Why am I seeing this?
Yes. Yeah, and you can go in, you can even tweak what ads are served to you. If Facebook gives you authority over that, you will be served ads, so you can show the ads that you want. You can go into your settings and tweak that as you need.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. Now, is there a special set of criteria to decide whether or not to use Facebook ads? Like I may be new in business, or I may have been in business for a while and have tried organic, or what is my offer? Maybe I'm just trying to get people to sign up for my lead magnet. Is there a special set of criteria as a business owner I need to think about before I decide to use Facebook ads?
Absolutely. You want to start with the product. If it's a service, if it's, a toothbrush, whatever it is, you want to start with the product, and you want to make sure you have a good story to it. Without a story in social media, you don't have anything anymore. So the story's got to be attached to the visual, the pictures, the video, the copy, the stuff that people write about. All of that has got to have a good story. So you take all of your information, and then you go, okay, well, I do want to create an ad for this. So you go into your ads, and that's again where you create that target audience. You've got to make sure you go and create a custom audience of exactly who you want to target. And you can target down to the region, you can target down to a city, and so you can hone in on every little detail. You can even put in things, if show them this if they bought a corn dog, or show them, or don't show them. Like, you can do all kinds of stuff. So it's very interesting. So I would always recommend, talking to somebody who is a little more familiar with ads before you dive in, because it can be a money sucker.
Oh, yes. I've done that before.
It can be. And that's why I like to target on organic engagement more than anything. Facebook groups is huge. And whereas many people thought it was going to be going away in 2019, that Facebook groups wasn't going to be as strong as they wanted, here comes Mark Zuckerberg saying, no, we're going to focus on community. And part of that is going to be focusing in on our Facebook groups. So we're getting more, like a cleaner, more pristine atmosphere in Facebook groups. We can, tag our posts. We can, do all kinds of things. And that way it's easier for your customer, your client, the user to search for things that they want in Facebook.
Awesome.
So that's why, I always, brand awareness is great for ads. And I always steer people away from doing all the other. Let yourself speak to your client about the product. You speak to your client about that service. Go live. Live videos get 6 times the engagement that a normal video does. So, doing those things will help drive the organic performance. Once you see that stuff start peaking and you have something you want to launch, throw it in there. That's a good time to throw it in there when you're getting all that conversation going. And then's a good time to start adding in your ad. That way they see, oh, I know that. I've been talking to her, or I've been talking to him, or whatever.
Nice. Very nice. Ooh, okay. I love it. So, we'll have to bring you back. It sounds like you have a lot to talk about with Facebook groups as well, but we can't do it today. We'll have to bring you back to talk about Facebook groups.
Oh, I'd love to.
Because you've got a pretty large community. We'll talk about that in a minute. But before we do, I want to talk about your branding for a minute. You do have a branding side of your business. How do you work with clients on that?
So basically, when I was explaining in my introduction, I just became the girl that people came to for advice, for design, for, their business wasn't producing what they expected. So I would go in and, it would be rearranging furniture or making a flyer, and then it turned into social media. So now, I spend a lot of time. I prefer Canva to any other design platform. I am a Canva fanatic. I can be on there forever.
Oh, wow.
So Canva is a good little spot. And really, I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. So with branding, Canva is a great little spot to build out a brand. And so with branding, you want to have your fonts, your colors, your logo, so on and so forth. So that's the stuff that I spend the time talking with. And I build all that stuff up using Canva primarily. And then we just deal with it. We deal with the things that they're passionate about. It's a lot of brainstorming, a lot of talking, late night phone call panic meetings, those kind of things. Branding has a lot to do with the passion of the person, and I just try to help that person get to where they want to be, and then social media just kind of comes next. It really just comes next.
Very nice. Wow. Okay. Awesome. Now let's talk about your community, Her Tribe. How did this community come about? What is this community about?
So Her Tribe was an accidental community that I had been asked to be a moderator of a group a long time ago that I was like, sure, whatever, I'll help you guys out, organize it. So I jumped in and started to help organize it. Well, I got busy with life and didn't really pay too much attention to it. And I ended up noticing that there was a lot of content on there that was not uplifting. And I am somebody who needs to be uplifted, and I am somebody who loves to uplift people. Nice. So I was like, I've got to start deleting this stuff. And so I went crazy deleting everything, and then realized that nobody else was taking care of the group, and it was only all this terrible posting. And so I deleted thousands of people. And yes, thousands of people, changed the name to Her Tribe, brought in a group of strong women who had the same goals to empower women. We have women who go live and discuss very, very deep details of their heart, trying to work out, things with depression, trying to work out things with relationships, jobs. We have a great moderator that she is on track to be a lawyer, and she wants to help educate. So she went live yesterday on posting things about how to discern what is opinion and what is fact and things like that. So we've got a big jumbled mess of a whole bunch of women that just want to support each other, and it's not as organized as I personally would like it, but it's beautiful in its own little existence. And so it's developing into another creature in itself. We're doing lots of videos. I'm in process of making a website for the community. They told me what they wanted, and so I'm just trying to cater to these women because they are all beautiful. They are all awesome. There's tons of group chats that have stemmed from this. We have the mentorship, which is in Facebook
Nice.
groups. I think we've got like over 40 mentors. It's a beautiful thing. And there's a lot of other women empowerment groups.
Mhm.
But this one is my little accidental baby.
That is so nice. That
that
is really nice.
I'm so lucky to have the support that I have behind these women, and I just hope to support them too. Everybody's got to find their little group. This was mine.
That's nice. I just recently joined Her Tribe audience,
Yes,
so
you
I
did.
haven't really gotten into it, but I'm looking now that you've explained more about it. Because we can get sucked into different kinds of groups, and we have to be careful about the groups that we join, and we want to make sure that those groups are impacting our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like Her Tribe is a great place for me to have landed. I just have to get in there and start meeting more people and doing more things. I love it.
It's definitely in a state of evolution for sure. I've been seeing so many beautiful changes, especially this year. Different drives from different women wanting support in different ways. So we're trying to find ways to be accountable to each other. And a lot of us, like I am in Atlanta and not surrounded by the people I grew up with.
Mhm.
And so a lot of us are away from the people we grew up with, and we don't have any friends anymore, and we're just like, it's all work, no play. And so we dive in there, we have fun, we have real heart to hearts. There's a lot of lives of us like crying and trying, big puppy eyes, trying to get through the day. But ultimately we just all want to support each other. Women need each other to get through a lot of these things in life. So this is that little group.
Awesome, awesome. Oh, it sounds so heavenly. I have a group as well. As you know, Aubrey, you're in my group, and
Hmm.
I am, struggling, for lack of a better word, to make sure that I do the same with my group. Make it a community that people will come into and love, and they will love me, and they will love each other, and we will support each other, and just be able to make it a community worth being in. And it sounds like Her Tribe has figured out how to do that. So kudos to you. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So we're almost at the end of our interview here, Aubrey, and I know your free gift for the audience is spending some time with you, right?
Yes, yes, and
That's an
spending a little bit of time.
That's an awesome gift. Thank you. As you can
Thank
tell,
you.
Aubrey is very knowledgeable. I'll put the calendar link for that for you to book that call with her and just spend some time talking about your brand and what in your social media and how it's going. And yeah, I think she can add a lot of value to that. I'm here in Atlanta with Aubrey, and I so look forward to having a play date with her where we meet up
Yes,
and just chat. So she's a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant young lady. Yes. Um,
thank you so much.
you're so welcome. I'm just speaking truth. And you can find Aubrey on in her group. I have a link there for her group, her tribe, and her Facebook page. She has a Facebook page. It's Aubrey Renee, and I'll put the link for that as well. And she is on LinkedIn and Instagram. I'll put it there, her links there for that as well. Now, Aubrey, one of the things you talked about was one of your unusual or funny things was crafting. Tell us about that.
I am an artist at heart with a child. So what happens is I get so super excited. I go to the craft store, I buy, $100 worth of merchandise. I go home, it goes in my craft closet.
Yes.
I've got a little girl that's ready to do her crafts and ready to, eat dinner and and then I forget. I'm like, oh yeah, I bought that like 2 weeks ago. And so I'll take it out of the bag and organize it. I have a closet that looks like a little mini craft store. But anytime I have the urge, anything from like weaving to painting to polymer clay, I can just walk in my little closet and grab it and start playing with it. So that's a good thing too.
It is. I laugh because, Aubrey, I've done the same. I'm very similar. I mean, I'm not a creative, crafty person in my heart. I want to be. I feel like I don't have any any creative ability on that end. But I so want to be. So I'll go to the craft store and I will buy all this stuff. And you'd be surprised at all the things I've tried. Jewelry making and crocheting and knitting and creating. I've just, oh my gosh, just all kind of painting. I've tried all kinds of things. Sewing. Ooh, I've been trying to sew.
I'm terrible at that.
Me too. But I've been trying to sew for 30 years, girl. It's so funny. But I want to be, and my sister's got it and she doesn't even care about it. And I'm just so like mad at her because I want it so bad. I want to be this really super crafty person. And my daughter has got it. I'm so amazed at her. She can do it. But I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So I feel you there on the crafty.
Yeah. It's borderline hoarding for me, but
yeah, me too. I've got all these tubs of craft stuff I don't use.
I'm trying to make it pretty so it doesn't look so hoarding-ish, if that's
yeah.
It's bad. It's bad.
I know. So I also asked you what was your favorite motivational quote, and you said you didn't know who wrote it, but it was, in a world full of algorithms, hashtags, and followers, know the true importance of a human connection.
Yes.
I love that because yes, we have lost a lot of times the human connection. And, one of the things and I like reaching out to women. I like talking to women on Messenger. One of the things, I just had a challenge in my Facebook group. And so one of my objectives coming out of that challenge was to reach out to members in my Facebook group. Because, prior to that challenge, my Facebook group had been a little dormant.
Okay.
And so one of the things I wanted to do is reach out to members in that Facebook group and get to know them. And also kind of in that process, because I don't hear from a lot of members in my Facebook group. It's not a big group, it's a small group, but I wanted to be able to kind of eliminate people in that process.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. People who are just not connecting in any way, because I love the connection part.
Oh yes, that's the whole thing. That's one of the reasons why the quote became such a powerful quote to me recently, is with all these changes that have happened in Facebook and all these changes, that they're driving it towards the same thing. They want you to keep that human connection. So the going lives, the having the conversations, instead of just sharing a picture with no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
They want that human connection, same thing that we all need. we
Yeah,
need that human connection.
absolutely. Now, Aubrey, thank you so much for coming. You,
I'm so glad you had me.
this has been so delightful. You are just a plethora of information. I love it. Yes. Now, as we're about to end our episode for today, Aubrey, if you will, share with my audience one tip they can take away and put into practice today.
All right. So the best tip that I can give is to just breathe your personality into your brand and engage with your fan base. Empowering yourself to stay involved with your following. The more they know who you are, the more they're going to support you long term. Put
That's
that into
great.
action.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's great. And the way you can start doing that is definitely on Facebook. There's a lot of
Yeah.
things you can do. A
Start a
lot of,
conversation.
yes, yes. So nice. I love that. Well, thank you so much. And audience, thank you for being here today for another episode of Inspired Women, Amazing Lives. Make sure to rate, comment, and share this episode with a woman that inspires you. And we will see you on the next episode. Goodbye. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Inspired Women, Amazing Lives podcast. Until we meet again, I urge you as an inspired woman to seek out ways to inspire and lead the other women in your circle. Please share this episode with another woman that you would love to inspire or someone who has inspired you. Feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, and remember always thrive, inspire, lead.